Do you know that even in these times, with all the information out, people still believe that Jesus is God, even though he's the son of a man named David? Therefore, he's the son of a man named Josedek, who goes by the name of Joseph. Do you know that people still believe that Jesus is Christ, even though he is born in the springtime? Therefore, he wasn't born in the winter, much less on Christmas Day. The same people that claims to know so much about Jesus never talk about Jesus becoming a grandfather. Why? Because he has more than one son. So let's read what the Most High has to say. We live in an age of ideologies and world peace. It's too precious a thing to be disturbed merely because of the clash of these ideologies. Haile Selassie I, the root of David, who goes by the name of Jacob. So God acknowledged him as the firstborn and gave him his inheritance. He fixed the boundaries for his tribes. So you are standing in the house of Jehovah, in the courtyards of our house, of our God. Praise Jah, for Jehovah is good. Make melody to his name. For Jah has chosen even Jacob for himself, Israel for his special property. Therefore God goes by the name of Israel. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children. So Jehovah loves Joseph more than all his children, including Jesus. So let's watch.
This is an accurate record, then Jesus may have even been married, which then, adds more, if that's true, it adds more to the hypothesis that maybe he wasn't crucified. I just personally believe that Jesus was an amazing.
He was never here to be crucified. For Jesus and his family line are supposed to be here at the end of times, during Revelation.
Being, I don't think that he was the Son of God in the sense that he's God, but that we're all gods. As he said, ye are gods. And I just personally believe that
he's a grandson of God, because he's the son of Joseph. And Joseph's dad is Jacob, and Jacob is God himself. So Jacob Jehovah has a son named Joseph, and Joseph has a son named Jesus. And then Jesus has more than one son, and then he has a grandson called Jesus. So let's listen. What they're doing out here.
When you search the internet, you ain't even got to search. There's so much propaganda against the book of Maccabees, the Apocrypha. Oh, it was never accepted. It's not accepted. What's the word? Canon. It's not canonized. All that is lies because it was in the original Bibles. And the Protestant white man had it removed. Why? Because when they allowed us to go to schools, guess what was the main teaching in the schools? It was the Bible. They said, take that part out of the Bible and just read about Jesus wept.
Let's see what it says in the Apocrypha, because all Bibles are translated out of the original tongues, which was written in Ge'ez, not in Latin. For Ge'ez is the oldest language on earth, Ethiopian language. And it tells you in the second book of Ezer, the son of Sarias, the son of Azarias. So Esdras is the son of Sarias, he's the son of Azarias, and he's the son of Heli. So what are those names? Those names are the names of God. So let's watch who Jehoshaphat is. And Azariah begot Sariah, and Sariah begot Jehozadak. So let's see who's Jehozadak. Jehozadak is Esdras. Why? Because he's the son of Sarias, the son of Azarias. So as you notice, Jehozadak is the son of Sariah, the son of Azariah. That's the same as saying Elijah and Elias. So AH is AS. And Jehozadak went into captivity, just like Moses, because Jehozadak is Moses. So Jehozadak is the high priest. So as you notice in the first book of Esdras, Esdras is the priest. And Jesus is the son of Josedek. And they gave their hands to put away their wives. Why? Because Jesus was married to a foreign wife, or he was having relationships with foreign wives who worship foreign gods. So that was his punishment. So Esdras the priest bring the law of Moses. Why? Because Esdras is Moses that was given of the Lord God of Israel. On the first day of the 7th month, that's when Moses read the law to the multitude of people. And who was there? The Most High God, and all the peoples answered. And also Jesus was there. Why? Because Jesus is the son of Josedek, and Josedek is Ezra the priest. So as you can clearly see, and Jehozadak went into captivity. Jehozadak, the high priest. So let's watch. Who's the firstborn? He himself calls out to me, "You are my Father, my God, and the rock of my salvation. And I myself shall place him as firstborn," in reference to David. So who else is a firstborn? Jacob. For God has many names. So God goes by the name of Jacob. He also goes by the name of David. Because once I have sworn to my holiness to David, I will not tell lies. In other words, God goes by the name of David. He also goes by the name of Jacob. Therefore, Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary. So Joseph is the son of David. Therefore, he's the son of Jehovah. And that would make him the son of David. So Joseph from the city of David, because he was the house and family of David. Therefore, he was the house and family of Heli. Why? Because God has many names. So Jesus began to teach when he was about 30 years old. They didn't say he died when he was 30 years old. He began to teach when he was 30 years old. Is not the king great in his power? Do not regions fear to touch him? So Jesus was the son of Sirach, the grandchild to Jesus of the same name. After the people had been led away captive and called home again, almost after all the prophets. Why? Because that Jesus is the son of Sirach, and Sirach is the son of Jesus. So it goes from Jacob to Joseph to Jesus to Sirach to the last Jesus, who comes at the end of times when God changed the elements. For the elements were changed in themselves by a kind of harmony, like as in a note changed in the name of a tune, and yet are always sounds which may well. For earthly things were turned into watery, and the things that before swam in the water now went upon the ground. The fire had power in the water, forgetting his own virtue, and the water forgot his own quenching nature. On the other side, the flames wasted not the flesh of the corruptible living things, though they walked therein, neither the icy kind of heavenly meat. For in all things, O Lord, didst. Who goes by the name of the Most High. So who is Jesus? Jesus goes by the name of Yeshua, who goes by the name of Joshua. So the Hebrew name is Yeshua, which refers to Joshua. So Jeshua, who is Joshua, has a son called Ezer. So we just saw that Jesus has a son called Sirach. He also has a son called Ezer, because Jeshua is Joshua, is Jesus, is Yeshua. So be careful where you get your information from. So why is the Vatican named after Vatica, the goddess of the underworld? Because they are pagans and they basically worship Baal, which is just another name for the devil.
Bible, nowhere does it say that Jesus is God unless you interpret John 1:1 and John 1:14, where it says the Word became flesh, in the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. But Jesus never said blatantly, I am God. Where in the Bible does it say Jesus is God?
In John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. The Jews did not call God G-O-D. They called him Yahweh, Jehovah, which is the...
Remember, Abraham is I am. Jesus never said he's God. So she just said that he never said he's God. And he just read a verse in which he didn't say he's God. He said, Abraham, I am. And we all know that Abraham is the God of I am.
It's the Hebrew verb to be. I am who I am. Very deliberately in John 8:58, Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. No misunderstanding among the Jews.
In other words, he didn't say that he is God. All he said is, Abraham, I am. He didn't say, I am God. And people listening to these guys as if they're like experts.
Understand it as the sin of blasphemy. That he, a mere man, would have the audacity to claim to be God in human form is unacceptable.
He didn't claim to be God in human form, so you yourself are changing up the story.
John chapter 10, verse 30. Jesus says, I and the Father are one.
Because they're from the same family. The father is Abraham, who goes by the name of Jacob, who goes by the name of David. That's his grandfather. Why? Because they're the father of Joseph. And Joseph is his dad. And we all know that Israel, who goes by the name of Abraham, who goes by the name of Jehovah, Jah, loves Joseph more than all his children. So, of course, Joseph has to be born on Ethiopian Christmas Day. God, Son himself. So let's watch what Jesus actually said. Jesus answered, I do not have a demon, but I honor my Father. In other words, Jesus knows he's not the Father. And you dishonor me, but I am not seeking glory for myself. There is one that is seeking and judging. Most truly I say to you, if anyone observes my word, he will never see death at all. Why? Because Jesus knows to follow God. So the Jews said to him, now we do know you have a demon. Abraham died, also the prophets, but you say if anyone observes my word, he will never taste death at all. You are not greater than our father Abraham who died. Are you? Also the prophets died. Who do you claim to be? Jesus answered, if I glory myself, glory is nothing. It is my Father that glorifies me. He who you say is your God, and yet you have not known him, but I know him. You see, they're saying God died. If Abraham is God, why are they saying God died? So Jesus knows more about God than them. And I said, do not know him, I should be like you. And if I said I do not know him, then I should be like you. I'll be saying that he died too. But I do know him and observing his word. Abraham, your father, rejoiced greatly in the prospect of seeing my day. In other words, in the days of revelation. Therefore the Jews said to him, you are not yet 50 years old, and yet you still have seen Abraham. Yeah, because that's his grandfather. Jesus said to them, most truly I say to you, before Abraham came into existence, I have been. In other words, people have been talking about Jesus before these times of revelation. When Abraham, who goes by the name of John, is supposed to be here. Who goes by the name of Heli. So Heli is the Most High himself.
He became emperor on November 2nd, 1930, and was crowned Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, King of Zion, conquering lion of the seed of Judah, power of the Trinity.
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the Most High himself. Follow Jah, not man. Jah guide.
These are the days that the Bible record, and Mama used to talk about it. It's a turbulence, the future, I ought to shine.